ASMR. My name is Risa, and I am so happy to have you all here with me today. So in our last video, I showed you all how to make this tree, which is just like this one, but this one obviously doesn't have the garland on it. So the last video we made our tree with the same tinsel garland here, and we made our star, our gold star, and our tree. And our garland, as I mentioned in the previous video, is made from pieces, scrap pieces from the straws that we had to cut down for the legs of the tree. Now obviously I wasn't going to have enough of these pieces to make the full garland, so I did have to grab a couple of additional straws that I had laying around. Again, those same big straws, the bubble tea straws are what I'm using. But as I'd mentioned previously, you can use the smaller straws as well. You might just need a little bit more of the pieces. So this is the look we're going for. This is our garland, our straw garland. And the colors are a little different. I used all of the, or at least all of the usable pieces that I could from cutting when I had to cut the legs for this tree. But I had to add a couple more straws worth. So I picked a couple of new colors to add in to the pieces we already had. Okay, sorry about that, guys. So these are the straws that I've been using, the bubble tea straws. So right now what I've been doing is just cutting up the straw pieces. I'll move this guy to the side now. I've just been cutting up these straw pieces and adding them to this pile. So a couple things before you start cutting. The first thing is, if you do have any points or uneven ends on your straw, like I did for the bubble tea straws, they're pointy, you're going to want to cut that off so that it's as straight as possible. Obviously it's not going to be perfect, and we never ask for anything to be perfect, at least not on this channel. Okay. The second thing is you're going to want to cut a slit right down the middle as centered as you possibly can, because this is going to make things a lot easier, and I'll show you why in a second. If you have to, if you keep going and you run out of scissor space, just turn it around and do the other side, because I've made the mistake of trying to go too far and just completely ripping the other side of the straw. So my little tidbit of advice here. Now the reason we did that is because the way this garland sticks together is not glue or tape or anything sticky at all. They just connect to themselves and to each other. So we've got a yellow one here. It opens up kind of like a cuff bracelet. And I've got another red one here which does the same thing. It opens. And I'm going to hook one onto the other. Just like when you make those paper garlands as a kid or as an adult. And you cut these little strips of paper and then you tape them together. Just the very similar concept, only you don't have to use any tape or glue for these. So I came up with this idea on a whim as I was cleaning up the pieces of the straws that I cut up and shaped up for this tree, for the base and the legs of this tree. And I was like scooping everything up to throw away, and I took a second look at everything and realized that what I had wasn't trash at all, but treasure, and something that I could definitely work with. And I had just immediately, it popped into my head, that I needed to see if this would work, to try cutting little slits in them and seeing if I could connect them all and turn them into a garland or some kind of garland-esque decoration or craft project. So let me show you what we've got so far. Trying to get it clearer for you. The camera is having the hardest time focusing. Probably my hands are actually a little trembly today, so I apologize. See? Pretty cool, huh? Okay guys, so we're back and we have cut up all of our little straw pieces, gathered them all together and connected them all. You want to make a longer chain, a longer garland here than you're probably going to need. And you remember they just pop on and off, so you can always add more, take away some if you need to, but it tends to be easier if you start off with more. Again, I say that a lot, but it's true. On my first tree, I thought I had enough. I did not, and I ended up having to keep adding more, and it started falling apart on me. So would have been even worse if I had glued or adhered them with any kind of tape or anything. So So the tree itself that I've got, at least here, and yours will probably be relatively similar size, is without the star 4.5 inches tall, and with the star 5.5 inches tall. So it's quite small. However, these chains can't be wrapped around tightly unless they have some kind of tape or glue on those connecting pieces that open up. Otherwise, it will fall apart. So since it has to be wrapped a little bit differently, you do end up needing a little bit more than you would think. I have, so again, 4.5 inches, 5.5 inches with the star, and I have a chain that's about 19.5 inches. So the tree itself, so the tree that I have here is, and this is the tree we made in the previous video, is 4.5 inches tall without the star, 5.5 inches tall with the star from the point of the star down to the bottom of the tree. The garland that I've made here for our tree is 19.5 inches long. This is going to likely be more than I need, but the excess can be taken off and removed very easily and then just added to the extra pieces I already have to create another project or another garland. So what I'm going to do first, now you can, for this part you can use a little bit of hot glue if you need to. Otherwise it should just kind of hang there. And you're going to start at the very top as high as you can go without messing anything up here, and just wrapping it around like that. And then once you get to the bottom, try to see if I can, there we go. Now with this tinsel, and because the straw pieces are so light, all kind of just sticks there nicely. Again, if you're going to be moving your tree all over the place or transporting it in anywhere, some sort of light adhesive is a good idea. You just want to make sure that you put it in places and not too much so that it doesn't show on the outside of the tree. But all of you fine crafters out there, I think already know that. So guys, think of our, and it actually did end up being the perfect length. So for my we'll just call it 5.5-inch tree here, I had a full garland of 19.5 inches. I love it. Do you guys love it? Once again, you guys have done an awesome job. I am so happy you all were able to join me today. I appreciate everyone's love and support. Please be sure to subscribe if you have not already. And if you would be so kind, go ahead and hit that like button as well while you're at it. I love you all. I will see you all real soon. Bye-bye.